There are 7 things a healthy person over 70 should still be able to do. And here's the honest truth. Most people can't do all of them. And the hardest part isn't the losing. It's that most folks have no idea which ones are already slipping away from them. So right now, wherever you're sitting, whatever kind of day you're having, let's find out together. Because if you can still do these 7 simple things, then I want you to hear me clearly. You are aging better than almost everyone your age. And it is not luck. It is not good genes. It is not the doctor you see or the pills in your cabinet. By the end of these next few minutes, you'll know exactly where you stand. And more importantly, you'll know exactly what to do about the ones that need a little work. No pressure, no grades, no lectures, just you and me sitting down together. Let's begin. Before we start, just so you know who you're spending the next few minutes with, I'm Dr. William Lee, and I've spent my whole career caring for people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and well beyond. And if there's one thing all those years in medicine have taught me, it is this. Growing older does not have to mean falling apart. So much of how we age isn't something written in the stars. It's a handful of small, quiet things you can check in yourself and improve at absolutely any age. So let's stop talking about it and let's start. We'll go through 7 signs together, one at a time. And if you can do it, wonderful. And if you can't, no shame, no scorecard, just the two of us finding out where you really stand today. Here's number 7. Sign number 7, getting yourself off the floor without much help. Let's begin with a big one. And it's one I'd like you to think about very honestly. When was the last time you sat down on the floor and then got yourself back up again without holding onto furniture, without a hand from someone else, without struggling for a full minute? Now, I'm not asking you to try this one right where you are, because if you're not sure about it, I don't want you taking a tumble on my account. Just picture it in your mind. Could you do it if you had to? Because here's why this matters more than almost anything else. Life doesn't always ask your permission before it puts you on the ground. A slip in the bathroom, a stumble in the garden, reaching for something under the bed. And the truth I've watched play out again and again in my patients is this. It isn't the fall that takes people's independence. It's not being able to get back up. If you can lower yourself down and rise back up under your own power, that tells me your legs are strong, your core is holding, your hips still bend the way they should, and your whole body still trusts itself. That is a beautiful sign. And if the thought of it makes you nervous, if you honestly aren't sure you could get back up, please don't take that as bad news. Take it as the most useful thing you've learned all week, because now you know what to work on. Start small. Practice sitting down into a sturdy chair without using your hands, then a lower chair. Then when you feel ready and with someone nearby, try easing down to one knee and back up. Muscles and joints answer when we call on them. Even in our 80s, I have watched patients go from terrified of the floor to sitting down with their grandchildren for a puzzle in the space of a few months. Your body wants to come back. You just have to invite it. All right, that's number 7. Now, number 6 is one that almost nobody thinks to check for themselves, and yet it may be the quietest predictor of how the next 10 years of your life are going to go. Stay with me. Sign number 6, standing tall without leaning. Number 6 is about your posture, the way you carry yourself when you're just standing there. Here's what I'd like you to notice, and you can do this right now. If you're able to, stand up next to a wall. Put your heels, your bottom, and your shoulders against the wall. And now notice, does the back of your head touch the wall easily without you having to strain your neck backward? Or is there a real gap there, a distance your head just can't quite close? This little check tells me so much. Because as the years go by, so many people slowly start to round forward. The shoulders creep in, the upper back curves, the head drifts ahead of the body, and it happens so gradually that we don't feel it happening. But that forward drift is not just about how you look in a photograph. It changes how you breathe. It squeezes your lungs. It puts a strain on your neck and your lower back. It changes your balance. And it changes how the world sees you, and sadly sometimes how the world treats you. If your head still meets that wall easily, take that as wonderful news. It means your spine is still doing its job, your chest is still open, and you're breathing the way your body was built to breathe. And if there's a gap, don't be hard on yourself. Nearly all of us drift in that direction, but it is fixable. A few times a day, stand against that wall for 30 seconds and just breathe. Roll your shoulders back and down while you wash the dishes. Every time you catch yourself hunching over your phone or a book, sit up a little taller. Your posture is a habit, and habits can be rewritten at any age. And when you stand tall again, something else happens that I can't quite put into words. You feel more like yourself. Now here's number 5, and I'll be honest with you. This one surprised me the first time I truly understood it, because it has almost nothing to do with the part of the body you'd expect, and everything to do with how long and how well you'll live. Sign number 5, the strength in your hands. Number 5 might be the most surprising sign on this whole list. It's about the strength in your hands, your grip. Let me ask you something simple. Can you still twist open a jar that's on good and tight? Can you carry your bags of groceries from the car to the kitchen in one trip without setting them down halfway? Can you shake someone's hand and have them feel that there's still somebody in there? Now you might be wondering, Dr. Lee, what on earth do my hands have to do with how well I'm aging? And here's the part that amazes even my own patients. Your grip strength is one of the very best windows we have into the health of your entire body. Researchers have followed thousands of older adults for years, and they keep finding the same remarkable thing. The strength in your hands tends to reflect the strength everywhere else. Your muscles, your bones, even your heart, even how long you're likely to live. When your grip stays strong, it usually means the whole machine is still running well. It's a little like checking one small part of the engine and learning something about the whole car. So here's your gentle test. Find a jar with a lid that's on firm. Pasta sauce, pickles, jam, anything. See if you can twist it open, or simply make a tight fist right now and squeeze hard for a full 5 seconds. And notice honestly, does it feel strong and sure, or does it feel weak, tired, quick to give up? If your grip is firm, take that as a wonderful sign. It usually means you're holding on to your muscle. And holding on to muscle as we age is one of the single most protective things in the world. And if your hands have gotten weaker, and so many of ours do, there's good news here too. Grip is one of the easiest things to work on, and it's rather pleasant. Keep a soft rubber ball or even a rolled-up sock by your favorite chair and squeeze it while you watch television. Carry your own groceries when you can, instead of letting someone else take them. Open your own jars, even when it's a struggle. Every time you do, you're sending your body a quiet message. I still need this strength, and your body listens. And one more thing, and I mean this warmly, don't let anyone take this work away from you out of kindness. When a well-meaning son or daughter insists on carrying every bag and opening every jar for you, they love you. But they may also be letting a little bit of your strength quietly slip away. It is perfectly all right to smile and say, "Thank you, but I've got this one." Now, number 4. This one is something you've done 100,000 times without ever thinking about it. But the way you do it today tells me more about the years still ahead of you than almost any test I could run in my office. Don't skip this one. Sign number 4, a walk with real pace behind it. Number 4 is about something you do every single day without a second thought. It's walking. But not just whether you can walk, how you walk. Here's the honest question. Can you walk at a good, steady pace, the kind you'd use to cross a busy parking lot or catch up with a friend who's a few steps ahead, without getting winded and without needing to stop and rest? There's a saying we have in the world of medicine that walking speed is the 6th vital sign. You know the others: heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, breathing, oxygen. Well, how briskly a person walks tells us just as much. Study after study has shown that older adults who keep walking at a comfortable, steady pace tend to live longer, healthier, more independent lives than those who slow way down. Your walk is a report card for your heart, your lungs, your muscles, and your balance all at once. So let's check yours honestly. The next time you take a walk, or even just down your own hallway right now, notice 2 things. First, your breath. Can you keep a normal pace and still carry on a conversation without gasping for air? And second, your steadiness. Do your feet feel sure, or do you find yourself shuffling and watching the floor? If you can walk at a good clip and still chat away, that is a strong heart and a strong body underneath you. Be proud of that. And if you've noticed yourself slowing down lately, getting winded sooner than you used to, or shuffling a bit, please take that gently, but take it seriously too, because this is one of the most fixable signs on the entire list. Walking is medicine. It truly is. You don't need a gym. You don't need to push yourself to exhaustion. Start with what you can do, even 5 or 10 minutes a day, and let it grow just a little each week. Walk to the mailbox and back. Walk around the block. If you get winded, slow down, Catch your breath and keep going. Your body was built to move, and it will reward you for every honest step. And if the weather or your knees keep you indoors, that's fine too. Marching gently in place while you hold the counter or walking the length of your hallway a few times counts just the same. The point was never where you walk. The point is that you keep moving. And please promise me, if your breath feels genuinely hard when you walk or your chest feels tight or heavy, mention that to your own doctor. That one is worth the conversation. Now we come to number 3, the one almost no one wants to talk about, but it quietly touches every single other sign on this list. If you've been wondering what the secret glue is that holds all the rest together, this is it. Stay right here. Sign number 3, sleep that actually restores you. Number 3 is something we hardly ever talk about, and we really should, because it quietly shapes everything else on this list. It's your sleep. Here's the question. Do you still sleep through most of the night, and do you wake up in the morning feeling reasonably rested? Now let me put one worry to rest right away, because I hear this from my patients constantly. As we get older, our sleep does naturally change a little. We tend to sleep a bit lighter. We wake once or twice in the night. We rise earlier than we did at 40. That much is completely normal, and it is nothing to be afraid of. What we're really checking here isn't whether you sleep like a teenager. It's whether, on most mornings, you wake up feeling like the night actually did something for you, because that is exactly what sleep is for. While you rest, your body is hard at work, repairing your muscles, steadying your heart, calming the inflammation of the day, and your brain does something truly remarkable. It quietly washes itself clean. It clears out the waste that built up during the day, and it files away your memories for safekeeping. That is why one bad night leaves you foggy, short on patience, and feeling 10 years older, and why steady, restful sleep protects your mood, your memory, your heart, and your immune system all at the same time. Good sleep is not a luxury at our age. It is medicine you give yourself for free every single night. So here's your gentle check. On most mornings, do you wake up feeling refreshed, or do you drag yourself out of bed tired no matter how many hours you were lying there? If you sleep well and wake up rested, that is wonderful. Guard that habit like the treasure it is. And if your nights have gotten restless, if you lie awake or wake at 3 in the morning and can't drift back off, please don't despair. And please don't just accept it as your lot in life. So much of this responds to small, kind changes. Try to go to bed and get up at about the same time each day, even on weekends. Get a little morning light on your face when you wake. It sets your body's inner clock. Keep the afternoon coffee to a minimum. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. And give yourself a calm half hour to wind down before bed, away from the bright television. One more thing, and it matters. If you snore loudly, wake up gasping for air, or feel worn out no matter how much sleep you get, please mention that to your own doctor. Sometimes there is a real, treatable reason behind it, and it is very much worth finding. And now we leave the body behind and turn to number 2. This is the one my patients tell me they fear losing more than anything else in the world, more than their legs, more than their sight, more than their strength. But before you let that worry settle in, stay with me, because I have something genuinely reassuring to tell you about it. Sign number 2, a mind that's still curious. Number 2 is about your mind, your memory, your sharpness, your ability to still take in something new. Let me ask you honestly, can you still follow a real conversation and remember most of what was said an hour later? Can you recall the names of people you've recently met at least most of the time? And here's the one I really care about. Are you still learning new things? A new recipe, a new card game, the name of a new neighbor, how to video call your grandchildren on that phone that used to feel like a puzzle. Now, before we go any further, I need to put your mind at ease about something, because I see the worry in so many of my patients' eyes. Forgetting where you set your glasses, walking into a room and blanking on what you came in for, losing a word for a moment and finding it 2 hours later in the middle of dinner. That is normal. We all do it at every age. A busy 40-year-old does it too. That kind of everyday forgetfulness is not the thing to fear. What matters far more is the bigger picture. Are you still curious? Are you still engaged with the world? Are you still picking up new things, even slowly? Because here's something wonderful that we in medicine used to get completely wrong. For a long time, people believed the older brain was finished growing, that you couldn't teach an old dog new tricks. We now know that simply isn't true. Your brain can keep forming new connections for your entire life. Every time you learn something new, every time you challenge your mind, you are quite literally building it stronger. In that way, the brain is exactly like a muscle. Use it, and it answers. I once cared for a woman who took up watercolor painting at 82. She had never picked up a brush in her whole life before that. 2 years later, her family told me she was sharper and happier than she had been in a decade. That wasn't a miracle. That was a brain doing exactly what brains do when we finally ask something of them. So how do you check this one? You don't need a quiz, just ask yourself honestly. In the last month, did I learn or try anything new? And if the honest answer is no, not a single thing, that's not a failure. That's an invitation. If your mind still feels sharp and curious, keep feeding it. Stay in the habit of learning. Read things that make you think. Do the crossword. Play cards with friends. Have real conversations about real ideas, not just the weather. A sharp mind isn't luck. A sharp mind is a mind that gets used. And notice something beautiful here. Nearly everything that keeps the mind sharp also brings you closer to other people. The cards, the conversations, the classes, the phone calls. That is no accident at all. And it points us straight toward the last sign of them all. And if you felt yourself getting a little foggier lately, or pulling back from things because they feel like too much effort, please be gentle with yourself. And then take one small step back toward the world. Learn one new thing this week. Just one. A new word, a new song, a new way to cook an egg. Call someone and ask them to teach you something. Because the moment we stop learning is the moment the mind begins to quiet down. And the beautiful truth is you can wake it back up at any age. It is never, ever too late. Now please stay with me for these last few minutes because we finally reached number 1. And you can't test this one with a chair or a jar or a stopwatch. It's quieter than all the others. And yet, in all my years of caring for older people, it's the single sign that has told me more than anything else who truly thrives in these years and who quietly fades away. I've seen it again and again. Let me tell you what it is. Sign number 1, having people and having a purpose. Number 1 isn't something you can measure with a stopwatch or a scale or a jar. It's quieter than that. And it is this. Do you have a reason to get up in the morning? And do you have people in your life who would truly notice if you didn't? Let me say that again because it is the whole heart of this. Do you have a sense of purpose, something that needs you, something you look forward to? And do you have real connection? At least one person you talk to, who knows you, who would notice if you went quiet? I put this one last, and I put it first in importance because of something I've watched over and over in all my years of caring for older adults. I've watched patients who, on paper, had every illness you could name. And they kept going strong and bright for years longer than anyone expected. And I've watched others, whose bodies were in perfectly fine shape, simply fade quickly and far too soon. And the difference so often came down to this. The ones who held on had a reason to hold on, a grandchild who called, a garden that needed them, a friend they met for coffee every Thursday, a purpose, a person. And this isn't just something I feel to be true from experience. Researchers have shown it again and again, that loneliness and isolation aren't just painful, they are genuinely hard on the body. Some studies have found that deep, lasting loneliness can take as great a toll on a person's health as smoking cigarettes. Our hearts, it turns out, were never meant to do this alone. I often think of a man I cared for who lost his wife of 55 years. For a while, I truly feared for him, his health, his spirit, all of it. And what brought him back wasn't anything I prescribed. It was a standing Wednesday lunch with 2 old friends from his neighborhood, 3 men, a sandwich, a cup of coffee, every single week, rain or shine. That lunch did more for his health than any medicine in my bag ever could. And I know, believe me, I know that this is the hardest one for so many of you. Because by our 70s and 80s, life has taken people from us. A husband, a wife, old friends. The world can grow very, very quiet. If you are watching this in a home that feels emptier than it used to, I want you to know that I see you. What you're feeling is real, and it is not your fault. But please hear me on this because it's the most hopeful thing I'll say today. Connection and purpose are not gone for you. They can be rebuilt at any age from any starting point, and it does not have to be grand. Call one person this week just to hear their voice. Say yes to one invitation you would normally turn down. Find one small thing that gives your day a shape. A walk you take at the same time every morning. A plant you keep alive. A neighbor you look in on. Give 1 hour of your time somewhere that people are glad to see you. And if reaching out feels frightening, and it does for so many of us, especially after years of quiet, then start smaller than you think you need to. A wave to a neighbor, a few kind words with the cashier at the store, a letter to someone you've lost touch with. Connection is a muscle too, and it comes back the very same way all the others do. One small, brave repetition at a time. Purpose isn't something you're handed. It's something you reach for. And the reaching itself, all by itself, begins to heal you. You matter. Your presence in this world matters to more people than you know. And it is never too late to build a life with someone in it and something worth waking up for. So let's bring it all together. 7 signs: getting up off the floor, standing tall, a strong grip, a steady walk with real pace, sleep that restores you, a curious mind, and a life filled with purpose and people. Now, how did you do? If you sailed through most of these, then let me be the one to tell you plainly, you are aging beautifully, far better than most people your age, and you should be quietly proud of the body and the life you have built. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Protect it. And if you found that you struggled with several of them, maybe 3 or 4 or even more, I want you to hear me now, more gently than I've said anything else today. This is not bad news. This may be the best news you could have gotten, because every single one of these 7 things can be improved. Everyone. You didn't come here to feel discouraged. You came here because some part of you still wants to live well, and that part of you is exactly right. And it is more than enough to begin. Here's the truth I've spent my whole career learning, and I'll leave it with you. Aging well was never about luck, and it was never about your genes. It's about a handful of small, kind things you do for yourself again and again. Getting off the floor once a day, standing tall for 30 seconds against the wall, opening the jar yourself, a short walk, a good night's rest, one new thing to learn, one person to call. That is the whole secret. And not one of those things depends on how old you are. You can begin today, right now, exactly as you are. So pick just one to start with, just one, the smallest one, and do it tomorrow. If this was helpful to you, if it felt like someone was finally talking to you like a whole person, then stay with me. Subscribe and come back, because I'll be right here week after week, walking through this season of life alongside you. You don't have to do this alone. We'll do it together. And whatever you decide to do, please don't wait. Not for the perfect moment, not for more energy, not for Monday. In all my years, the people who aged the best were never the ones who waited until they felt ready. They were the ones who started small today and let it quietly add up day after day. So let today be your today. Take good care of yourself. I truly mean that. And I'll see you in the next one.